It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning and welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast on this, the 11th day of October, 2023, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. Headlines today, we've got several stories this morning. A wonder of the Seas Itinerary Change. Boy, wait till you hear the reason why. $1 million grant for shore power in Galveston. Barcelona bans ships from the central port. 11 grand voyages from Azamara. Aurora expedition adds Starlink. Celestyal cancels Israel, the latest company to pull out of Israel cruises. And a brief weather update this morning and lots more here at 11 o'clock. All right, guys. Today is National Sausage Pizza Day. I can deal with that. Well, I'll probably lean more toward pepperoni. I like meat lovers of any kind. So I can definitely knock down a sausage pizza without much problems. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from. Any of the big guys, all of them, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Pandora, Stitcher, any of the guys. Just search for travel and cruise industry news. And voila, up pops the fat travel guy. Anytime you're listening to the podcast and want to jump over for the video feed to take a look at clips or pictures or interviews that I may be doing on that day's show, there's always a link in the description of your podcast so you can do just that. All right, a couple of quick announcements. There will be no solo cruise deal show today. With everything that's going on in Europe and Israel and a lot of problems with cruises that are running now and scheduled into that part of the world in the next couple weeks. The powers that be just felt that there was probably a good week to back off. So we're going to do just that. So there won't be a solo cruise deal show today. Should be back next week like normal. I hope. That's at least my plan. Now, Friday evening, my time at 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I am going to do a hosted solo cruise get-together and invite everybody from both my hosted cruises to join us, or anybody else that wants to pop in. That's fine too. We're going to talk about a number of things around the two hosted cruises. They're going to be very similar in style. Just go over a few things. I try to do this on a reasonably regular basis before we do a cruise, and it just hasn't been in the cards recently. So, yeah, we'll have a get-together Friday evening. So I'll be sending notices out to everybody in all the usual places about that show. If you haven't done it already, please smash that thumbs up button for me. That'll help the channel out a lot. And if you have not subscribed, I'd invite you to subscribe to this channel. That's doesn't cost you anything. And clearly that helps the channel out tremendously. So bell notification, of course, lets you know when I go live or when a new video is up. All right, before we get to the news, we'll take a quick look at the weather. You know, there's not a whole lot, folks. Sean is a tropical storm now in the Atlantic. It's not going to do anything. The one coming right behind it, right off the coast of Africa, we may have to watch a little bit, but Sean is probably going to be gone by tomorrow. So, and that's it on the Atlantic. The Pacific, Lydia is well inland now. If it has not completely dissipated by now, I haven't checked on it in the last hour or so. It will in the next hour or so. So that'll be gone. So that'll clear up the Pacific for the time being. You know, it would be really nice if we get out of all of this now. You know, be done with it. And it's probably, it's not going to be that lucky. But it would be nice if that happens that way. All right. I'll be back with a look at the news after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. All right, guys, the top story this morning comes from our friends over at Royal Caribbean. Guests booked on Royal Caribbean's Wonder of the Seas January 7th departure are being notified of an itinerary change, but for an unusual reason. Instead of weather conditions, poor conditions, propulsion issues, or other common reasons for a schedule change, the ship is being rerouted to a different port for refueling. With this schedule adjustment, one port of call is changed completely, and others are reordered for a more efficient route. The January 7th cruise length and overall sailing region are unchanged, but the ship will no longer be visiting St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands and will instead visit San Juan, Puerto Rico to take care of the refueling of Wonder of the Seas. Norwegian Breakaway was called to assist in the rescue of approximately 200 migrants overnight near Italy, resulting in a 4-hour delay that meant the ship had to forfeit its planned visit to Catania, Sicily yesterday. The port visit was to have been from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., but the ship enjoyed a day at sea instead. At roughly midnight on Monday night, the Italian Coast Guard reached out to the Norwegian Breakaway with a request for assistance. A boat with approximately 200 migrants was adrift and intervention was essential. The Breakaway was the closest vessel able to respond. All right. Galveston Wharves has been awarded $1 million grant for shore power pilot project in partnership with Texas A&M University at Galveston. The goal is to reduce emissions from cargo shipping at the Port of Galveston. However, cruise vessels there may benefit from the findings funded by the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality. The pilot program will include establishing an onshore electricity microgrid to provide a cleaner portable power source to a docked ship as an alternative to the vessel using its diesel-fueled auxiliary engines. Royal Caribbean outfitted its cruise terminal, opened in 2022, with shore power readiness, and Carnival pledged that any of its ships regularly assigned to Homeport in Galveston will be capable of connecting to shore power once it is available. All right. I see what I did wrong now. Okay. The ultra-luxury brand Azamara is introducing 11 grand voyages scheduled for 2024 and 2025, spanning 5 continents with itineraries ranging from 35 to 70 nights. These extended sailings prioritize longer stays in ports and include enticing amenities such as complimentary airfare and up to $1,200 inshore excursion credits. Azamara's grand voyages will traverse 5 continents with destinations ranging from Australia's Tasmania Island to Japan's Nagata City. They include such things as a 37-night South Africa to Portugal grand voyage on the Pursuit, a 46-night Denmark to Spain grand voyage on the Onward, and a 70-night Greece to Australia voyage on the Pursuit. Those and a number of others. So if you're interested in one of those, folks, you might want to take a look at it. I apologize for flashing up the wrong picture. Actually, I think the machine ate another picture on the previous story. But this, this is not Galveston, folks. This is Barcelona. So, and there's a story for Barcelona here. Following a cruise ship ban, Barcelona's central port will no longer accommodate passenger ships starting October 22nd. Instead, they have asked cruise lines to dock at other terminals further away from the popular La Rambla district. Local officials introduced a new regulation to minimize cruise ship emissions and to keep them from affecting its more populated area. Smaller ships from Oceania, Regent, Virgin, Aida, and Azamara will now dock at the cruise pier outside the city center, where the larger ships dock. Moving the cruise ships to the larger Mole Adasat pier means that passengers can no longer visit La Rambla Street in central Barcelona via a short 10-minute walk. They will instead need to take a 30-minute shuttle or a 55-minute walk over a bridge to reach that area. All right, the next story, folks, the Australian expedition company, Aurora Expedition, has unveiled an upgraded onboard connectivity feature for passengers on its chartered ships, Greg Mortimer and Sylvia Earle. This enhancement comes in the form of SpaceX Starlink, a service that has been successfully deployed and is now accessible free of charge in all cabins and public areas on both vessels. Congratulations to Aurora for doing it right. All right, the latest cruise line to pull out of Israel following the recent events is Celestyal Cruises. Said it would cancel calls in Israel through November. CEO of Celestyal, Chris Theophiles, on advice of our internal teams and the relevant authorities, have decided to temporarily remove Israel from our 3 continents itinerary and replace the call in Ashdod, Israel, with a call in Heraklion, Crete. The change in itinerary is valid for the following cruises: the 7-night cruise, the 7-night 3 continents cruise with departures on October 21st, October 28th, November 4th, 11th, 18th, and 25th. So, Celestyal is out of Israel, at least till the end of November. So that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show, I do believe. And we'll go over in the chat room and see who's fussing at me today. Amy's with us. Hi, Amy. Glad to have you back. Nikki's with us. Dennis is here. Mike's here. Sonny's down in Mississippi. Of course, everybody's speaking back and forth. Dennis says Justin has a Celestyal cruise booked. Yes, they do. And it's supposed to go to Israel, too. So, yeah, that's they're kind of waiting to see what's going to happen now. But I have a feeling that that's, they're going to go to Crete instead. That's at least what it looks like. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Again, I appreciate all of you being here. Don't forget, no solo cruise deal show today. We'll be back next week. And please plan on joining me Friday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for a hosted solo show on both the hosted cruises on the December Norwegian Escape and January Norwegian Epic solo hosted cruises that I'm going to be hosting. So I see Dennis is correcting me. Catanea. Okay. Catanea. Yeah, I see. I slaughtered that one. All right. Thank you, Dennis. All right. That's going to wrap it up for today, guys. As always, thanks for being here. I'll be back same time, same channel tomorrow. Hopefully, I'm waiting for a phone call. Hopefully, with a new lift on my car. That would be wonderful. So, anyway, I'm hoping to get a call today. So we'll see. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy. Think about cruising. Hopefully, one day soon, we'll all get together on the high seas. Have a fabulous day, everybody. See you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. Hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.